A win is a win is a win. Rutgers holds on for an 80-76 win over Penn State at the rack. Let's get to it.
What is it tonight?
Penn State comes in as a 2.5-point underdog. Mostly, I suppose, because of the rack effect, and after 20 days away from home, maybe there's something still to it, even though we don't play that lockdown defense like we used to. Penn State came in at 8-1 with a big 81-70 win over number 8 Purdue, which was a shock to everybody, and they were up in that game by 27 points. And we finally get a quadrant 1 victory. I think, what are we, 1-3 now? Of course, we were led by the dynamic duo of Dylan and Ace, and we'll get to that in a minute. You know, we, after being behind, this is one of those games. The crowd was great, animated, standing up the whole game. Noise level was high. It was Penn State. It was Ace and Dylan. And after being behind early, we led most of the game. And I'm thinking, okay, wow, this is a pretty good rebound from a lackluster performance so far this year. Maybe we'll have some magic at the rack. We led for the last 35 minutes of the game, up 48-33 at halftime. You couldn't ask for much more. Mostly it was because, our 3-point shooting in the first half was really good. We were 8 for 18 from beyond the arc. We were 8 for 10 from the free throw line. We were crashing the boards. I think we had like 21 rebounds, mostly defensive rebounds on Penn State missed shots. We held Penn State's ace. We did a good job on him. Things were looking pretty good. And we start the second half, and we're up 17 points, and you're like, wow. Okay, and Penn State starts to whittle the lead down, and, okay, we're still up by double digits. We're up 10.67 minutes left in the game. And that they start to crawl back into it and make it even closer. They get into Penn State gets into single digits, and they get it, and then it happened. They get it down to 2 with 3 points, I think. 3 points with a couple minutes left, and you're like, okay, here we go. And all the time I'm thinking, new players, same old Rutgers team. It's going to go down to the wire, pulling your hair out. They don't, they're never going to make things easy. They don't know how to handle prosperity. This can't be one of those games where Penn State comes back after being down 17 in the second half, goes into overtime, or gasp, wins the game. That would have been an all-time loss in an already disappointing season. Nonetheless, Penn State gets to within a couple points. Ace Baldwin on Penn State misses a shot. Ace Bailey makes a shot, or misses a shot down the other end, and taps his own shot back in to put us up 4. And that pretty much was going to be the game until with like 10-11 seconds left. Ace Baldwin hoists up a 3, rims out, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway unless he got fouled from 3-point range. Ace grabbed the rebound. And speaking of which, Ace had the kind of game, 15 points, 15 rebounds, that I think we need him to have. He can't be just a guy, throwing up shots. And that first shot he landed was like, whoa. It was one of those shots where, what is he doing? Oh, my God, it went in. But if he can get, double-doubles on a semi-regular basis, that bodes well for Rutgers. So what happened in the second half? The Rutgers swan dive came, and from watching our team in the past, which was very gritty, workmanlike, defensive-oriented team, they would go on cold streaks for like 7-8 minutes. They wouldn't score. Teams would climb back in. Or Rutgers would get back into the game themselves, and you think, okay, they're going to take the lead, and then they can't hit a shot for those 7 minutes. But after being 8 for 10 from the free throw line in the first half and 8 for 18 from 3 and crashing the boards, our three-point shooting, once again, I think now the fourth game in a row has not been good. We wound up 8 for 22 from 3, and that's about 36%. You know, for the game, Penn State, even though Penn State wound up not shooting well in the first half, they wound up shooting better, almost 40%, 39%, mostly on the back of Josh Hicks, who was 6 for 10, 20 points. So our three-point shooting left us our free throws. After being 8 for 10 in the first half, we wound up and 3 good games in a row where we were nailing our free throws and doing very well and improving. We wound up 14 for 25, 56%. You know, that kind of happens down the stretch of a game. You get a little tight. You start missing from the charity stripe. You know, Dylan Harper's streak ended. He had like 3 games in a row where he didn't miss a foul shot, and last night he was 8 for 14. So despite a really good game overall, you know, it's things like that. In a game where the outcome is in doubt, last couple minutes of the game, you know, those missed free throws here and there can mean all the difference. And, you know, Penn State had 9 steals, you know, we had 2. But nonetheless, a win is a win, and a win in the Big Ten where there's, from top to bottom, it's a good to very good to an elite league. I think we have 4 teams in the top 20. But Dylan had 24 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 of 14. Ace had the kind of game we want to see more of. Double-doubles, 15 points, 15 rebounds. If he can be a force on both sides of the ball, that's going to increase our chances to finish out games and have our lottery picks play like lottery picks and give us a better chance to get to the tournament, because things still aren't a given regarding that. Get to that in a second. Different rotation. After a loss, Steve Peichel changes the rotation. Jordan Durkat comes off the bench, and J. Mike gets a start. And I think he had 4 points. I'm not against, as much as I love Jordan Durkat, but he might be that guy that's just built for that 6th man, come off the bench, energize a bunny, super sub kind of role. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, so he was productive off the bench. And that might be a good role for him. I'm not sure about J. Mike's starting. He doesn't have the shooting consistency to be a guy you can count on, but you know, you want to go to a different kind of lineup. Maybe you want to play a small ball, maybe multiple guards. That's maybe a thing that you can do. That's part of the tools in your toolkit. Jeremiah Williams, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, productive game. But a thing that made this game better for us, we didn't just have our 2 superstars be productive. It was a better game for the bench. The bench was virtually non-existent 4 games in a row. A little better last game. I think they had 16 points, 8 of them were Lathan. But the bench last night was much better. They had 27 points off the bench, and you need that kind of production. Stretch out the rotation, rotate guys. Lathan, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Tyson Acuff, he had 6 points, and he hit a nice kick-out 3 earlier on in the game. Or Jordan Durkak, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. PJ Hayes got off the schneid. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist, and he had a long 3, and you could tell he was really happy when he hit it because he just almost like a home run hitter when they watched the flight of the ball for a second. He had the little extended shooting motion and watched it go in, and he was really happy about that. So good for him. He needs to get back into rhythm, and we need to get him more of those kind of shots. But here's the thing where we made real improvement, and this is real improvement. We out-rebounded Penn State 42-29. A lot of that was on defense in the first half when Penn State was missing shots. But nonetheless, when you're out-rebounding a Big Ten foe by 13 and your lottery pick is grabbing 15 rebounds, I think this is a formula, and I don't know how the sets were set up by Peichel in order to put Ace into that position, or if it was just an effort type of thing on Ace's part. We're going to need more of that. I was kind of hoping to see more of that when the season started, that this wouldn't be just about, flash and scoring, that he would be a dominating physical presence on the court. If he can do some of that, the prospects for us making the tournament or get much better. We had some things to work on. Now, Penn State missed a lot of shots in the first half. It just looked like whenever they got into the lane, it was like nobody there. They were just there putting, and they made their share of shots, but a lot of them, many of them didn't go in. If they did, it could have been a different game. So we still got to tighten up our defense in the paint. Penn State better in the second half. 3-point our perimeter defense still needs some improvement. We were good in the first half last night, not so much in the second half last night. We have Seton Hall coming up Saturday, Princeton the Saturday after that, and then Columbia on the 30th. And I said this yesterday, we have to sweep the month. There's no question about it. This isn't about, again, we can't wait for that magical moment where everything starts to click and we're playing fundamental basketball, not to sound like Coach Dale from Hoosiers, but we have to start playing with an identity and playing the way that we did at least in the first half last night. Shooting well, hitting free throws, rebounding, distributing the ball, kicking the ball out to our shooters. That has to be consistent. If it's not, and I've said this yesterday, we go into calendar flips. We go into January, Big Ten, against ranked teams, and there isn't a dog in the bunch. Well, they're dogs, but there isn't a bad team in the bunch that we play next month. 500 isn't it? Say we go 8-5 into January, and we go 500. That's, you're not even borderline at that point. So, need to sweep the month. We have to, when the calendar flips, we're going to have to play against our Big Ten competition like we did in the first half against Penn State last night. Nonetheless, good job. We're 6-4. And we have our first quadrant and Big Ten win. We're going to need more of those. Everybody enjoy your week. We will talk to you soon in case there's any portal updates and an update for Rutgers versus Seton Hall, which is a big deal in these parts. Everybody enjoy your week. We'll see you the next time.